Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We get a list of 10 properties on the Toronto system, 3 more on the Oakville system. And as always, what our goal is with Milton Daily Homes is to really educate you, tell you some things you may not know right away from some of the homes that you're seeing in the daily list. And if you want something a little more customized, I'm going to send you a link to sign up to get something more specific. Maybe you just want condos, maybe you want country, maybe you only want a certain price range or only 4 bedrooms. We can set all of that up. Maybe a specific school district that you want. All of that is completely configurable, and it's the next level past Milton Daily Homes. So we're going to start off, I'm excited for a couple properties today that you just don't see very often. This one here on Finney, you do. It's a pretty common model. It's a Brentridge end, 3 stories. You're back to back on the other one. There's another Brentridge on the back end of this one, so there's no real backyard. Most of the 3 stories in town do not have a backyard. We are dealing with a single car garage. It's called Mattamy Village Town. This one is just under 1,300 square feet. I don't know why there's a mural there. I don't even know what that is. It looks like maybe we're visiting the Shire and we can maybe see some hobbits somewhere in the background. But I'm just kidding. The hardwood floors. The kitchen actually looks like it's got some upgrading with the stainless steel appliances, the extra pantry space. This is the only version of the Mattamy Village Towns that has a true eat-in kitchen. So you can put a little table there, which is nice. And then you still have the dining plus a family room. 2 bedrooms upstairs. This model also comes in a 3, but the 3 bedrooms are very small, so I tend to prefer the 2. Slight advantage with the 3 in terms of opening up to an audience that needs 3, but value-wise, they're very, very close. We just saw one that listed at $353. We don't know what it's sold for yet, but it's got an offer on it. I'm not sure if they're planning on doing anything across the street, but beyond that is the gas pipeline, and then there's some train tracks over to the side here. Obviously, facing not much is a nice thing. It's quiet, and because you're sort of northwest, you're looking at sunsets and escarpments just over to the left of this home, and that I like too. So overall, I would say this one, historically to me seems a little bit high, but we have seen that model sell for that price, and I think that they're going to do okay, especially if it shows well. Maybe that picture of the mural might entice someone. And Boulevard, $399 bungalow, 2 bedrooms. They've enclosed the carport, so I'm not sure how that's going to look. Generally, I haven't seen it look outstanding. Potentially 2-car parking in the carport. And it allows you to store a little bit more valuable stuff, being that it just, carport, you can't do that. You'll get the snow and the rain off your car, but you won't necessarily want to put like your jet skis and your snow blowers and things like that. The house is not cosmetically perfect, but I think that it's pretty much entry point. Like, you don't find bungalows for much less than $400 these days. There's a gas stove, and it looks like it's really just about looking at the structural stuff, the roof, the windows. That's your main thing, because you can come in here and do some work on the kitchen. You can do some work on the flooring or whatever else. But I think the parts that you don't get as high a return on are those unsexy elements, the actual structural parts of the house. No shots of the backyard, but 80 by 100 is a pretty good size. So I like this one. Overall, I think it's a good option for a downsizer. I think it's a good price point for someone who's moving from a $700,000 or $800,000 house. They can come in, do a bit of work, and probably still land under $450. So Woodward, $418, 2 suites on this one, including 3 bedrooms on the main floor, 1 downstairs. But there are 2 separate suites. This comes pretty close to what I'd imagine is one of the better investment properties in town. You have to be careful that you're complying with the fire code, the building code, 2 means of exit, enough parking, all those different things that really Ontario has mandated down to the municipalities. Is the municipalities generally are very close-minded about second suites, but the province recognizes that we need more affordable housing and we need to pack more people into this area. So, and when I say this area, I mean pretty much southwestern Ontario. So we're really seeing a lot of push from the province to be to allow the second suites, but obviously within guidelines and rules, and tenant safety is obviously one of the primary concerns. Bottom line is this one here. If you get 2 families in, you figure you could probably rent the top part of it for $1,200 or $1,300. Depending on how the basement looks, you might get 7 or 8 from it. And that's getting pretty close to about as good as you can get. Now, the thing about Milton that I talk about is that it's a great place to live, not always the best place to invest in real estate, because you could probably find the same home, maybe not the same home. Let's just say you could find the same rental rates, but go out to Guelph and maybe pay $350 for the house, or maybe go out to Kingston and pay $280 for a house. And so you're finding that your return on investment is much greater. So if you could drop your purchase price but keep the same rent, all of a sudden your cash flow situation looks much better. And so if it's not positive cash flow, it's not something to invest in. I tell people all the time. So we're going to create a course about investing in real estate. I'll share it with you when it's done. We've been talking about it for a couple of years, but I get a lot of questions about it every single month where people say, hey, what about this? What about that? Buying from a builder and hoping it goes up in value is called gambling. Okay, so investing in real estate is a proven process, very low risk. It's a much longer term, consistent process, but it always generates the right kind of result for you. So Slessor is 519, just over 2,000 square feet, unfinished basement, hardwood floors, granite counters. It's the new Shady Glen with the 4th bedroom, larger ensuite. Some of the things that people didn't like about the original Shady Glen, they filled in the room above the family room. 519 seems like going rate, although we'll see. If it's really nice, they might do it. Okay, so Cusick is 558, and it's an Albion Bay, about 2,200 square feet. They have hardwood in the front, but not in the family room. The countertop here, this would feel a little bit tight. I don't know how much extra space is here in the kitchen, and it's not always as open with the rest of the house. I generally like the Albion Bay. They've got nice sized bedrooms upstairs. You've got that little dormer effect right here where you can actually, have a desk or a tent, I guess, is kind of a cool thing. 558, we've seen this model sell for 570, 580, but they have had a little bit more upgrading. So Frobisher is 579. It's on a part of Frobisher that's really not influenced by anything. Like there's all houses around it. It's not like it's back onto the main street stuff. You've got a pool in the back. You've got some nice privacy cedar here. The home looks updated. They've kept the floor plan open, but they've still put some storage up here because everyone needs a place for wine glasses and all the rest of it. It looks like a fantastic home. They've done some nice upgrades. I think it's well manicured, double car garage, even with a new garage door here. 60 by 110. I wouldn't be surprised if this one sold for closer to $600,000. It would not surprise me in the least. They're holding back on offers till Sunday at 7. So if you want to go see this one on the weekend, give us a call. Maybe you get it for a good deal. We've seen that where we've expected a home to go for more, and it's actually kind of the interest hasn't been. Maybe it's just a quiet weekend. Everyone's gone. So don't be afraid by perceived competition. Go see it, judge the value, get your research or get your agent to do the research, and then make a decision from there. The only difference when you're competing on an offer is that you only have one shot. So you're not negotiating. You're saying, this is my price, and if it's sold for $1,000 more, I can sleep at night and I'll be happy. So that's the one major difference. People say I don't want to compete, and what I always say is, well, would you rather buy a home that no one else wants? And that kind of flips their mindset around, and it's just important to go in with the right plan. Bell Street is 595. It's a very, very interesting house. There's no pictures, so I'm going to show you the virtual tour. So they've stuccoed the house. They've put additions, and it's fascinating. I've never really seen this kind of layout before. So when you come in the door, you can go. There's the front door there. You can go into the main floor, and you can go upstairs to this little master suite, which potentially could be a separate little unit. You've got some bedrooms upstairs, so you can go up this way. The kitchen's on this side. You've got a living room with a dining room. Kitchen's had some renos. So here's where you start to see how everything fits together. This is the master bedroom, this area right here. You've got the sliding doors. Lots of natural light here. It backs onto some nice green space. You can see in the fall you're getting some great colors here. You've got an above ground pool. There's the rest of the master ensuite. So if you put a little kitchen up there, you could have a little bachelor apartment. This is in the main part of the house here. These are the other bedrooms. You've got your skylight here in one of them. You've got a little finished basement. And then from here, there's a little walkout. So this gives you a good thing here. So there's a walkout from the basement. That's that master bedroom upstairs on the addition part. And then there's a separate above ground suite. And so the reason I say that is because there's a lot of people that don't want to shove their parents in the basement. They want a real comfortable space for them, and this could definitely accommodate that. There's a little kitchenette. If you have a look here, there's some nice shots of the backyard. Lots of trees here. So that's it. There's a little bit of an area here. You've got a kitchen, probably with the older cabinets that they replaced when they did the main house. So it's a really neat layout, and the fact that it's got some privacy. I think the curb appeal is good on it. So we'll see what happens with it. It's one of those homes where it may not fit everyone's needs, and it's got a little bit of segmentation to it. But for the right buyer, this could really be potentially something where you can have a little bit more income and obviously enjoy things like the pool and the green space and so on. So Farmstead, Plan 7, about 2,400 square feet. Not my favorite floor plan because it feels very much like it's almost like the room spoke out off the kitchen. They have done some decent upgrades. We've seen the slightly smaller Plan 6 listing at 609, 619, 625, 630, and they're just not going anywhere. So at $599, I like the fact that the first number is a 5. I still think it's a little bit high compared to what else we've seen out there. Woodward is at $599, and what I love about this one is it's a huge property. It's 100 feet wide by 158 deep. Probably one of the biggest residential properties that we're going to see. I would say probably in the top 10 or 15, at least in this neighborhood, no doubt about it. The home maybe isn't like awesome, outstanding. I would have replaced the stove with stainless steel. You could pick one up on Craigslist for not very much money. If they've done the other stuff, I think it's important to do that. So some original parts here, the wood siding or the wood paneling in the basement, generally easy to paint over, and it actually looks pretty nice. But the backyard is outstanding. I just think that there's a lot of value in this place. And if you went in, you could really, even an addition on a home like this, because the lot is so big, you figure a 66 by 132 foot lot right now is going for probably $400,000. So for the extra space, having the 100 on this one, I would venture to say I'm almost believing that $599 is pretty close to the land value on something like this. But this would be a good home that if you could get it approved to do some sort of addition to the house. You have a ton of land. You've got a lot of good trees nearby. It's a great looking house, or great looking bones. Like that would be, if I was somebody who had a plan, a project in mind, that is the perfect palette to really start my project on. So Cousins is 714. It's a Vanderwood, so it's 3053 square feet. Good upgrades, solid, the moldings, the pot lights, and so on. We do see that there's slightly larger homes, even homes that are very similar that are listed under 7. So they're going to have a tough time over 7, strictly based on their competition. We have seen the Vanderwoods go up above 7. We got 3 more on the Oakville board. I'm going to hop over to the first one. We'll do it in price order. Cartmore Way, $399.9. So you're about 1,900 square feet of living space, including the basement. So you're probably about 15 plus about 400 downstairs. I like the use of light in this home. I like the way they've done almost like a slightly darker version, because what happens is you see all these pot lights here and how they highlight the ceiling. You can see the cupboards and how the light bounces off of it. So they've done a great job with that. Very open concept layouts. And then you've got downstairs is finished as well. A little bit higher than this model sold for in the past, but I think they've done a pretty good job with it. And there's not a whole lot of good stuff for sale. Direct access from the garage, which the Manavie homes don't have. So I like this one. I think there's a lot of good stuff. Trudeau faces Trudeau Park, which I like. It's one of the Shady Glen ones. Back in the day, they called it a Poddington. Sorry, this is a Powell model, not a Poddington. So Powell is about 1,900 square feet, hardwood floors. $45 to me is an excellent price for this one. They've done some California shutters, pretty open concept floor plan. They've done, I think the kitchen colors are good. And so you're talking about a 3-bedroom upstairs. Usually the 3 bedrooms have the laundry, and they're pretty good sized rooms. And they have a bit of a pie-shaped lot, so you've got this extra side yard space which can come in handy. You want to do a pool or something here, you've still got a pretty good piece of land. Nice price here. I think $45 is amazing. I think this is one of the better single-car garage deals I've seen in a while. And last one is a Hazelnut, which is about 2,750 square feet. Stone and stucco elevation backing onto some green space, and I can see thicker. There's only 6 pictures. There's not really a lot of detail here. Upgraded light fixture. You can see some nice window coverings, thicker baseboards. In the master, it looks like they've done a little bit of kind of a wainscoting look, upgraded light. So that's all I have. This would be high for this model. We've seen this model sell for like $630, $650. At $749, I get the extra premium for the green space. Bosch appliances. It's looking to me like this home is really nice. So if they were going to get up into this kind of range, past $710, $720, it would be mostly because they've really, really pimped it out with some good upgrades. Usually this size of home is going for less than $7. So if you have any questions, you want to see anything in today's list, give us a call, send us an email, and I'll send you that link so you can get a little bit more of a customized search if you're at that stage. Okay, so have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday with more Milton Daily Homes.